Yes, the darkness has emerged once again. What's up, guys? The Witch Doctor. As you can see on your screen, we're doing another deck review today, and it's one that I've done a long time ago for my old deck of Noivern Gourgeist. And let me tell you, that Noivern Gourgeist deck that I made, trash. Absolute garbage. The fact that I have a win with that deck is amazing. But that was only because I used an Evil Tall back then. Regardless, I still had a win with it, and it was... I don't know, guys. I really don't. It still boggles my mind till this day. Anyways, the deck has come back with a lot more improvements this time. Let's get into some of the new changes we have in the deck. Also, I took some of the stuff from the Top Cuts video. I looked at the build that he had with his Noivern deck, and it seemed very useful, so I decided to incorporate some of that, but also added my own little darkness touch. You know what I'm saying, people, boys and girls? You get what I'm saying? I had to put down my hand of darkness and decided that this deck will be mine, and I'm going to make it a little different. So yeah, in Furious Fist, we have a new Noivern with the ability Echolocation, and basically what this does, if any Pokemon was to try to attempt to attack Noivern, you can flip a coin and you can prevent that damage. Basically, you just neutralize their attack for that turn. Very good ability, extremely good. Only problem is flipping heads. That's the only problem we have. Next off, we have Boom Burst for 1 Psychic Energy, 1 Dark Energy, and 1 Colorless Energy. This attack does 30 damage to each of your opponent's Pokemon. It's a very good attack because it's spread damage. Now, I'm a big fan of spreading damage. Like, that's just the type of decks that I like, is spread decks. But those builds are, they're a lot not so smooth, but they get the job done over time, which I like. Nothing is safe unless, of course, you have this guy over here, Mr. Mime. Bench Barrier, prevent all damage done to your bench Pokemon by attacks. This will completely shut down any spread damage deck. Unless you're using Dusknoir, I guess that's the only way. But we're not using this in the build, because we have a more spookier ghost Pokemon to use, which is Gourgeist. To help out Noivern spread the damage, we have Eerie Voice. Put 2 damage counters on each of your opponent's Pokemon. For 1 Psychic Energy, that's actually pretty good. I like that. Also, Gourgeist is also one of our key Pokemon in facing against, like, other Pokemon that are, for example, too much for us to handle in the deck. Like a very powerful EX. And we know that we have no way of knocking this thing out. Well, Spirit Scream helps us out a lot. Put damage counters on both active Pokemon until the remaining HP is 10. So basically, if we're facing a nice, powerful EX with 180 HP with no damage on it, we get him all the way down to 10 HP. It's amazing. And for 2 Psychic Energies, is not that costly, but at the same time, we have to draw these things, so it's okay. But as you can see here in the bottom, we don't run too many energies. We only run 4 Dark, 4 Psychic, and 2 Waters. Now, a thing to help us get our Water energy out of the deck, Professor's Letter. Search your deck for up to 2 basic energy cards, reveal them, and put them into your hand. Shuffle your deck afterwards. So, really good. Before we get more into the item cards and stuff like that, let's continue on with the Pokemon of the deck. Now, I also wanted someone who can do a little more spread damage, just in case we can't power up Noivern right away. Who else to get but Kyurem? Glaciate does 30 damage to each of your opponent's Pokemon. Again, spreading everything. 2 Waters and 1 Colorless, not bad at all. The fact that we have to draw both our Water energies, though, is kind of meh, but we have to deal with it. And Outrage is actually a very good attack, too. 2 colorless energies for 20 damage. It does 10 damage for each damage counter on this Pokemon. Really good. It really is. We can essentially get easy knockouts if we've already had some damage on to cure them. And it's... Sorry, I got stuffy nose kind of. But yeah, it's really easy to knock things out with cure them. And the next Pokemon is Sigilif. Now, obviously the deck kind of operates a little slow, so we need someone that can block things out for us, you know, to stall out for some time to get things going. So Sigilif, very good card to have against EX Pokemon. Allows us to stall, get our resources together, and we'll be fine. And the last Pokemon of the deck is Milotic. Now, Energy Grace is what we're using this for. We're not using it for Waterfall whatsoever. If we get into a situation where we have to, hey, we have to. But, once per turn, you may knock out this Pokemon. If you do, attach 3 basic energy cards from your discard pile to one of your Pokemon, excluding EX Pokemon. This is an amazing ability. We have to wait until there's energy in our discard pile. But once there is, we can just slap a whole bunch of it onto Milotic. It's amazing. I mean, onto our active Pokemon by using Milotics. Now, obviously knocking out our Milotic would give our opponent a prize card. Now, the way to counter that is Life Dew. Life Dew will prevent our opponent from getting 1 for your prize. So that means we can essentially do 1 Energy Grace for free. Onto the other cards, we have 1 Escape Rope, 3 Evo Sodas, because we do have quite a hefty amount of Pokemon that evolve here, 1 Hypnotoxic Laser to stack up some damage, and before I continue on with the energy, I totally forgot, we also have the original Noivern, only for Secondary Bite, not for Sonic Bazooka. Secondary Bite does 10 damage more for each damage counter on your opponent's active Pokemon. Now, since this is a spread deck, this is great. We can easily power up this Noivern real fast, and it only takes 2 colorless, and just start picking things off that already have damage. Simple. Now we can continue on. We have 2 Startling Megaphones. We can easily get rid of the Garbodor matchups because Garbodor hurts this deck quite a bit. 2 Switches, 3 Ultra Ball, 3 Colress, 1 Lysander, because Lysander is actually a very good supporter to have in this deck. If your opponent is retreating and finds a way to have, if they have Mr. Mime or something like that, and then they draw Mr. Mime late, and they retreat out an active Pokemon that had lots of damage counters on it, Lysander that thing back in and destroy it. Easily said and done. 4 N, 4 Juniper, 3 Skyla, and our last card in here is a Training Center, which is actually really good for each Stage 1 and 2 Pokemon gets 30 HP more, so that's actually very helpful. So we go from a 100 HP Noivern to 130, and same thing with Gourgeist, so we won't get knocked out so easily, so it helps. And that's pretty much the deck, guys. I hope you enjoy it. Now, here's the thing, I don't do gameplay footage of the deck right away. I usually wait a day after the deck video, and then I'll show you gameplay, but I just want to show you guys the deck to see how you guys like it, and you can take the deck out there yourselves, play it, and then when you watch my video, you see how I play it. Yeah, so that's about it for this one, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you do, leave a like down below. Also, if you have any other deck ideas that you would want to see me use, I'll do my best to do that. I think I have an idea for another really crazy deck that I might just use, but I gotta hold off on that for right now. But yeah, guys, darkness.